Hey guys, so in this video I will be reviewing these master palettes by Primark, and they retail for £6, and this is the look I created. Hopefully you guys like it, and just carry on watching to see how they applied and everything like that. There is a lot of fallout with these shades, but if you just put a bit of baking powder underneath, then you're good to go. So I think the palette that I'm most drawn to is the palette that has the black in the corner, and it's more of the bronzier tones. I just think this is more me, so this palette is probably the palette that I'm going to use and test out the pigmentation. However, after I will be swatching them for you. I do have these colours as well. I think I'm going to use the bronzier ones. So these are more of like your pinks and your purples, and it's got some few transition shades as well, but I'm going to stick to the bronzier shades. Now my eyelids are already primed and set in place, so I just need to choose a transition colour. So for that I am going to be using this colour, as the rest of them are actually shimmers except for the black and the white. So I will be using this orange as a transition colour, and then I might have to use some transition colours from the other palette. As I've dipped my brush in there, there is a lot of fallout. Just dust it off. As you can see, that colour is very pigmented. There is a bit of fallout underneath, just a little bit here and here, but because I've baked underneath, we can just swipe that off at the end. But that colour is so pigmented. I really like. The palette was £6, and you get quite a good shade range here. So I don't know what look I'm gonna go for. I might use a bit of the black just on the outer edge to deepen it a bit. And for that I'm gonna use like a more precise, I'm gonna sneeze, a more precise angled brush. Wow. Pinky champagne colour on my lid. Wow. That colour worked much better when I used my finger. Look at that. Than when I actually used a brush. When I used a brush, all the brush was putting on my eyelid was glitter, and it was all just falling out. But when I used my finger, it was much better. It just glided on perfectly. So I would advise, for the glittery shades, use your finger. Do not use the brush. The brush doesn't pick up as much pigment as you'd want it to pick up. With that same fluffy brush, you just want to blend out the edges. For an inner corner highlight, I'm just going to use this pinky kind of, it's a highlight colour. I wouldn't even put it on as an eyeshadow. I'd use it as a highlight in my inner corner and my brow bone. So let me just zoom in for you for that colour. This one here. For my lower lash line, I'm just going to take that transition colour again and just run it under there, and then use a bit of the black on the outer corner just to match it up. I'm just going to wipe off the excess, do the rest of my makeup, and get back to you with my final thoughts and some swatches and just overall feel about the palette. So this is the palette that I used, and these are all the colours. You get 12 colours per big pan, so this cost me £6. And now I'll show you the swatches. So this is what the swatches look like. As you can see, the black isn't as pigmented as some blacks, but the rest of them, I think, are very pigmented. This is the other palette here, and as you can see, there are more mattes in here than there is shimmers. So there's only like 4 shimmers in here. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, and the rest are mattes. So depending on your preference, depending on the palette that you would buy. And as you can see, they are very pigmented. I really like this highlight colour here as it hits the light. It's kind of hard to show you. And these are the shimmers, so 1, 2, 3 and 4. And this is the brown in the corner, which is probably more pigmented than the black in the last palette. This is the peach palette. I'll show you it the right way up, and then when I show you the swatches, I swatch from this way. And these are the swatches. I don't feel like these are as pigmented as the big palettes, like the matte shades. The shimmer shades are really nice, but not the mattes. This is the matte palette. All of these are cool toned, as you can see, and some of them are not as pigmented, just like the last little palette, but they're more pigmented than the peach palette. And these are the matte shades. There's no point moving them because they don't shimmer. Hi guys, so I am back with my overall thoughts. I would have just shown you a whole load of swatches. I swatched every palette that I have because I have these two bad boys. So I have this one, which I have shown you, which has the black in the corner. This one that has the peachy colour in the corner. And as you can see, these are much bigger in size compared to the little ones, and the little ones retail I think for £2.50 or £3, and the big ones retail for £6. And I would recommend them if you're on a budget. And I really like the pigmentation in these big palettes, and in the little palettes they're not as pigmented, the peachy colour ones. So I probably wouldn't buy that one. For £3 you can skip out on that one, but I would highly recommend these. And this is my final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this little tutorial, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.